Welcome back, everybody. Here we are once again, and today is a Mazdaspeed 3 video. So I won't do the big intro, we're just gonna get right into it. Basically, you guys know that when I installed my Mishimoto front mount intercooler a while back, I wasn't too happy with the mounting solution. What I did have was a crash bar from James Barone Racing, but that bar was designed for a Treadstone intercooler. I think it was for a TR8 if I believe. And the Mishimoto S-Line is quite a bit taller than a TR8. So I had to do a lot of modifications, you could say. Some people might call it modifications. I call it mangling. But I had to do a lot of work to get that bar to fit, and even with it mounted the way it is now, I am not happy with it. It sits a little low. I am constantly worrying about going over a bump or a curve, or even backing out of my driveway and scraping the bottom of that intercooler. The splash pan is in place, so it's not like it's just sitting out there exposed, but still, I still worry about bottoming out on something and hitting a bump or whatever and damaging my intercooler. So today I decided to finally take care of that problem. So originally I was just going to weld up a new crash bar, and it just hasn't happened. It's going on 3 years now almost, and I don't think I will be getting around to it. I've been pretty busy as of late, obviously, because I haven't been able to make videos. Thankfully, one of my Instagram followers, his name is Kenny, he is doing his own Speed 3 build. He has a Gen 1, and he got me hip to this company called Gravedigger Motorsports, and they make crash bars. They also make crash bars for the Gen 2, and specifically, they make a crash bar that fits a Mishimoto S-Line intercooler. So I went ahead and ordered one up. It comes with the hardware right here, so everything can bolt right in, and it will get the intercooler to the proper height, so it is not where it is now. Unfortunately though, I am going to lose having my license plate frame holder the way it is, because this bar doesn't have the provisions for it. But I will, if I have to, I will zip tie it on there. I am just happy to be able to get my intercooler properly mounted. So I went ahead and removed the front bumper cover already, because that's tedious. You guys aren't going to want to watch that anyway. So I'm just going to get into it. I need to remove the JBR bar that is on there now, as well as try and not damage the wiring for my horns. And I might even take this opportunity to loom those up and get them out of the way nice and tidy and everything. So when I put this all back together, I don't foresee myself taking that bumper cover off for a very long time. With all that said, I am just going to get into it. This is the JBR bar, and this is the bar from Gravedigger Performance that I'm going to be swapping to. The first thing you're going to notice is where the JBR bar is flat, the Gravedigger bar has this nice curved section that is going to make up the height difference for the S-Line that the JBR could not. And I did a lot of cutting and drilling and cutting to try and get this bar to fit, and this one looks like it's just going to bolt right in with no issues. The other interesting thing about this Gravedigger bar is, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but it already has the holes for the intercooler mounts already drilled. So basically all you have to do is put your bolts through, put your spacers on, and you are bolted in and ready to go. So I think this is going to be a fairly simple install to put that new bar in. All right, so the install is done. It's pretty much straightforward. If you've removed the crash bar before, it's as simple as doing that. Now, one of the things I'm impressed with is it actually did raise my intercooler up. Before, it was sitting like below the splash pan. So in order to put the nose back onto the car, I had to actually physically lift it up and then struggle and fight with trying to get everything lined up again. It was a pain because lining up the side clips, they didn't want to snap back together cleanly, and I just didn't like it. Now, this is almost perfect. The bolts that I used to bolt my intercooler to the bar, they were slightly too long. I think if I had a bolt that was maybe like a 1/4 of an inch shorter, the fitment would be absolutely perfect. But as you can see, I used to have this big gap right about here between the top of the intercooler. And now that gap is almost gone. And like I said, if I had the proper bolts, the fitment would be perfect. It would sit completely within this grill opening. So I am very satisfied with this crash bar from Graveyard Motorsports. Now that I got the bar installed and the bumper cover is back on the car and everything's buttoned up, I'm going to consider that a wrap for today. Like I said, I'm really pleased with this bar. It actually does raise the intercooler up quite a bit, and the bolts I use, like I said earlier, are just a tad bit too long. If they were a 1/4 inch shorter, that fitment would be absolutely perfect. But as I'm looking at it now, that's why I keep looking down. The car is behind the camera at the moment. It absolutely fills up that entire grill opening. There is no gap in the middle any longer. Now, I was not able to reuse my JBR license plate mount, but there is a provision on the Graveyard bar where I think I can mock something up to be able to use that and get my license plate mount back. So right now, I got creative with the zip ties to mount my license plate frame, but that's not permanent. That's just a temporary fix until I can come up with something different. Hopefully you guys liked the video, and if you did, you know what you need to do. Go ahead, leave me a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead. I got a couple of more videos coming out. There are a couple of maintenance things that I need to get done with my Mazdaspeed 3 before I really start driving it this summer. I mean, it's nothing major. I am desperately going to change my spark plugs. I am noticing my performance has dipped a little bit as well. There is a lot of Miata content coming. I am shortly awaiting for those pigtails to come from Ballinger so I can finish up on my ignition install. And then once that's done, I'm going to get deep into the tuning. There are a couple of little body modifications I want to make. I do have a set of fender vents. I'm seriously considering getting a splitter and a diffuser from R Theory Motorsports as well. I need to take the dashboard out. The previous owner did not do a good job when he removed the carpet. But I have a new one that is going to fix that problem. I'm going to make the inside look really nice so I can then start working on the exterior. So there are a lot of projects for both of these cars. And if you're interested in the stuff that I'm doing on the channel, that's why you got to make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when any of this stuff comes out. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves and enjoying your weekend wherever you are. And stay safe, stay hydrated because it's a hot one out there. And I will see you guys the next time.